This is our last example. This is probably going to be the hardest type of question you get. So when you're looking at this question, the radicals on opposite sides, that's fine. But we have a constant, so the question works a little bit different. But your first step still is to find your restrictions. So if I look here to find my restriction, it's going to be 2x plus 5 has to be greater than equal to 0. I bring the 5. 2x is greater than equal to negative 5. I divide by 2. So x has to be greater than equal to negative 5 over 2. Okay. Here the same thing is 2x has to be greater than equal to 0. I divide by 2, so x has to be greater than equal to 0. So those are your two restrictions. Once you've done your restrictions, the next step is to solve. And like I said, this question takes a little bit more steps. So we'll start here. So your first step here is, I have radicals on both sides. I have to square. Okay. When I square this side, I'm left with 2x plus 5. But when I square that side, I have 2 root 2x plus 1, 2 root 2x plus 1. So I have to FOIL. This side will stay the same. Here I have to FOIL. I have to multiply this with this. So 2 times 2 is 4. The radical times the radical just leaves you with 2x. Then I have to go this times the 1, which leaves me with plus 2 root 2x. And then this time this, which gives me 2 root 2x. And then last thing, 1 times 1 gives me positive 1. Okay. I can solve this. This just gives me 8x. Now, my next step is to collect all my like terms. So I end up with 2x plus 5. Here, I'm left with 8x. Here, 2 plus 2 gives me 4. So that's 4 root 2x plus 1. So once I've done that, what I want to do is I want to keep my radical on that side and bring everything over. So I'm going to bring this over. And when I bring that over, minus 8x, I get negative 6x. If I bring that 1 over, I get positive 4 is equal to 4 root 2x. So then some kids would ask, can I divide by 4? You can, but 4 doesn't go evenly into 6, so I would leave it. So this one, the difference here is now I have to square again. I have to square this, and I also have to square this. Okay? So once I square this, remember squaring this means you're FOILing. Okay? So now I have negative 6x plus 4 squared is equal to 4 root 2x squared. When I square this, I FOIL. So it'll be 6x plus 4, negative 6x plus 4. On this side, if I square that, 4 times 4 gives me 16. And then when I square it, I'm left with 2x. Okay, but I have to FOIL. Negative 6 times negative 6 gives me 36x squared. Negative 6 times positive 4 gives me negative 24x. Minus 24x plus 16. That's equal to 32x. Collect my like terms. 36x squared minus 48x plus 16 is equal to 32x. Now, my next step is to bring the 32 over. So I end up with 36x squared minus 80x plus 16. That's equal to 0. And then now if I look at this question, I have 3 terms. So this is a quadratic. In order to solve a quadratic, I can use my quadratic formula or I can factor. In this particular question, you can factor. I can take out a GCF of 4, which leaves me with 9x squared minus 20x plus 4 equals 0. Then I look inside my brackets and I ask myself, are there 2 numbers that when I look in here, I have an A, so I have to go 9 times 4. So I have to ask myself, are there 2 numbers that multiply to give me 36 and add to give me negative 20? So my 2 numbers are going to be 18 and 2. So my GCF stays outside. I don't have to worry about it. This became x squared minus 20x plus 36. And now I factor. I get 2 numbers that multiply to give me 36 is 18, negative 18, and negative 2. And then remember, I multiply by 9, so I'm going to divide this by 9. So I get 4x minus 2 and 9x minus 2. So now x is going to be equal to positive 2 and 2 over 9. So those are my probable solutions. But what do I have to do? I have to do a check. In order to do my check, I go back to my original question. So I'm just going to erase this here to show you my check. So this is my check. My original was 2x plus 5 equals 2 times 2x plus 1. So let's start off with 2. If I plug in 2, 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus 5 gives me 9. So root 9 is equal to 2. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1. I get 3 is equal to 2. Square root of 4 is 2 plus 1. So I get 3 is equal to 4 plus 1. 3 is equal to 5. This doesn't work. So this is false. So x equal to 2 is a extraneous root. When you get a possible solution and when you plug it back in and it doesn't work, that means it's an extraneous root. So that's not the answer for sure. Now I have to check 2 and 2, 9. So this becomes the square root of 2 times 2 over 9 plus 5 equals 2. 2 times 2 over 9 plus 1. Here 2 times 2 is 4. 4 over 9. So this becomes the square root of 4 ninths plus 5. And you can use your calculator here and plug it into your calculator. And if you do that, you'll get the square root of 49 over 9. Okay? Which gives you 7 over 3. You have to make sure when you're doing your check, you put the exact answer in. If you round it, you get a different answer. So this side will become 2. That gives you 4 over 9 plus 1. If I take the square root, I get 2/3. So it becomes 2 times 2/3 plus 1. And if you plug that into your calculator, you'll get 7 over 3. So this one works. So this is your final answer. So the answer to this question is 2 over 9. So as you can see, a lot of steps, a lot of work needs to be shown. This would be your hardest question. Okay, I will post your questions on the website, on Teams. And if you have any questions and concerns, you can send me a message on Teams or send me a quick email. Thank you. Bye.